So, is matter an illusion? It's a huge question, and what's wild is that this isn't some new age idea. It's actually an ancient concept that seriously challenges even modern physics. We're going to dive into a concept from the distant past that feels, well, shockingly current.
I want you to just look around for a second. Look at the table you're at, the device in your hand, the walls of the room. I mean, they all feel solid, right? They feel real, substantial. But what if that feeling of solidity is just a perception? What if, at its most fundamental level, none of it is really there? We've all heard that classic line from modern physics: matter is 99.9% empty space. Kind of blows your mind a little bit. But what if I told you that's not even half the story? Because a thinker from 1600 years ago went way, way further. He didn't just say matter was mostly empty space. He argued it doesn't exist at all. He basically claimed it's just a hologram made of pure information.
So, who on earth was making a claim like that so long ago? Well, this is St. Gregory of Nyssa, and here's what's so important to get. He wasn't just some mystic having abstract visions in a cave. Nope, he was a deeply intellectual figure, a philosopher who was all in on the scientific theories of his day.
You see, when he looked at ancient texts, he didn't see simple history lessons. For a guy like Gregory, a book like Genesis wasn't just a story. It was a guide to natural philosophy. He was convinced that the physics of reality, the very code of the cosmos, was hidden right there in the narrative. And, modern scholars totally back this up. They see him as a man deeply immersed in the scientific theories of his era, not just a bystander, but an active and competent contributor to the biggest questions people were asking. Okay, so let's get to the heart of it. When Gregory says matter isn't real, what does he actually mean? I mean, how can a stone be an illusion? All right, here's the core of his entire argument. For Gregory, matter isn't really a thing. It's more like an event. It's not some fundamental substance, but a meeting point, a combination of non-physical, conceptual qualities.
Let's use a stone as an example. Think about it. You don't actually perceive stoneness. What you perceive is a bundle of qualities: its hardness, its weight, its color, its shape. And Gregory's radical idea is that there is no stone underneath all those qualities. The stone is nothing more than the convergence of these concepts. And here it is in his own words. He said that qualities like hardness or color, when you take them one by one, are just ideas, mere thoughts and concepts. But it's when they all come together, when they reciprocally converge in one spot, that's when they become matter. And this is where the idea gets truly mind-bending. Because these building blocks, hardness, color, weight, they aren't just random concepts floating around. Gregory argued they are fundamentally informational. They're the direct thoughts of a divine intelligence being expressed into reality.
He called the source of these thoughts the logos, a Greek term for the divine reason or the ultimate organizing principle of the universe. So think of it kind of like a cosmic operating system. For Gregory, every single object we see is just this universal, intelligent pattern showing up in a specific way in a specific place. The world, quite literally, is made of thought.
Okay, so if the universe is built from concepts, what's the mechanism here? How does a pure idea become the huge, complex reality that we all experience? Let's talk about how it all unfolds.
Gregory actually found his answer in this one kind of cryptic line from the Genesis creation story. When the text said the early earth was invisible and unformed, he didn't just picture some murky physical swamp. No, he saw a profound statement about the very nature of existence itself.
His solution uses these two incredibly powerful ideas from Greek philosophy. First, you have potentiality. This is the idea that at the very beginning, the entire universe, everything existed as pure potential. All the rules, all the ingredients were packed together in what he called a seminal power. It's exactly like a whole oak tree being hidden inside one tiny acorn. Then, over time, that potential unfolds into actuality. The seed grows, and individual things, stars, planets, you and me, all emerge from that initial unified state. This whole line of thinking led him to this amazing, paradoxical statement. He said that at the moment of creation, the world was and it was not. It was there, the whole thing, in potential, but it was not yet there in its actual unfolded form. So it existed and didn't exist at the very same time.
So how does this all tie together? Why does this 1600-year-old idea about reality feel so relevant right now? This is really the ultimate takeaway from all this. If you remember one thing, let it be this.
For Gregory of Nyssa, the fundamental stuff of our universe isn't matter, it isn't energy, it's information, it's concepts. Ultimately, it's thought. And look, this isn't some distant force that just kicked things off and then checked out. Gregory was very clear. This logos, this organizing reason, lies within every single created thing. It's an active internal code that's structuring reality from the inside out, moment by moment.
And that leaves us with a really provocative final question. Gregory's ancient philosophy forces us to ask something very modern, a question that physicists and philosophers are actually wrestling with right now. As we learn that the fabric of our universe can be described by math and information, we have to wonder, are we looking at a purely physical system, or are we, just as Gregory suggested 1,600 years ago, living inside an informational one?